Strategies. So we have first the knowing audience and analyzing listening, persuasion skill, and plan your story. So the first time persuasion is to understand your listeners. To truly understand them, you must get inside their minds and see the world as they see it. An example, we have this CDC conducted several surveys and interviews among Americans to examine why so many people were not getting a flu vaccine. So we have how can you find out where listeners stand? So in a professional environment, knowing the demographic of your audience can help. The environment of your speech can give a lot of clues as well. So for the persuasion scale, we have the unaware of the issue, the aware of the issue, but opposes your view, the aware of the issue but apathetic, the informed and interest but neutral on your view, and we have the convinced of your view and ready to make action. So when you have several different for the building credibility, when you have several different segments to which group you should devote your energies, and an obvious answer is to try to meet their minds or everyone well needs an admirable good, and it cannot always be achieved. In a public speaking, before listening can accept your ideas, they want to know whether you have credibility. So that's why we have the explain the components. So if you have special exercise, lets your audience to know about it, and mostly of course. So explaining personal experience that can be build a credibility. For the be accurate, bearing uh, bearing fact and figures wrong or taking quotes out of context can undermine your credibility. So let's say in the business world, it can ruin a career and even a company. And so have a open minded, showing a confidence of your ideas is a good thing, of course, but some of speakers go to the extreme. They become arrogant and inflexible and refusing to admit any possible problems will with the argument. So now we have the providing evidence. So when you make an assertion in a speech, it is not enough to say. So the audience wants evidence or proof. So the evidence can be presented in the forms discussed in the chapter or supporting your ideas and avoiding plagiarism, such as narrative, statistics, sample, and testimonies. So choose evidence from credible resources. In some cases, a single sample or statistic can be insufficient to bolster argument, but in the most persuasive situation, a speaker has multiple sources of support. So provide a variety of evidence in a highly effective engagement. Your audience is making your speech more reliable and memorable. So personal narratives can create an emotional connection, illustrate your points more vividly, and make your message more impactful. And for the user, so we have for the last one we have use sounds reasoning. So reasoning the act of reading conclusion on the basis of logical thinkings in a part of everyday life. So let's look at two popular type of reasoning. So we have the deduction and induction. So for the deduction, deductive reasoning with a logism is one of the most powerful tools of persuasion that a speaker can use. So if can convince you listening to accept the major and minor premises, the conclusion is gonna be inescapable. And for the induction, when the deduction moves from the general to specific, induction proceeds from the specific to general. So this means that the inductive method is used frequently by scientists that they may isolate observation and then form a hypothesis. And for the last one, we have the fallacies in reasoning. So this really retorted. So I just find that a fallacy is an error in reasoning that readers and arguments, and they can make them to be false or unreliable.